Hello and welcome to a special program on NewsX brought to you by DafaNews. Well, in the World Cup clash at Mumbai's Wankhede, that happened yesterday, but today we are discussing an all-important clash, and that is India and New Zealand. Now, the latest news is that India has won the toss and elected to field. My colleague in the studio is Tasneem Granger, the international cricketer from Zimbabwe, who will give us the latest. Tasneem, what do you have as the latest?
Good afternoon and welcome to you all on the show. Definitely two changes in the India changing room for them today. We see Mohammad Shami getting a chance today, which is a big deal, as well as them being able to boost their batting order. They've brought in Surya Kumar Yadav in the place of an injured Hardik Pandya. New Zealand, still no changes, going with the winning formula.
Well, that's an interesting observation we've made, and we were expecting them to do quite a bit today. But are you happy with the way the changes have been made for the Indian squad?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something about World Cups, big games, and as well as being at the top of the table does give you a bit of the freedom to be able to make these changes as well and not be too entirely shaken by what it does take out of it.
Well, that's an interesting thing. What about the weather and the pitch condition there? So let's look at that, and we'll also we are joined by Mr. Virat Kohli's coach, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, who joins us and gives us all the insights on this. Tasneem.
So just for the weather today, a lot of teams out here, we've seen at the toss conversation between the captains as well, both just talking about the fact that the dew factor might play a part. We did hear Tom Latham saying he would have obviously won, if he won the toss, he would have looked to bowl first as well. So I can definitely understand India's thinking behind this. There's about 42% chance today of it possibly raining. I hope it doesn't come down. I'd love to see what these teams can both do with 50 overs on their hands.
Well, raining, of course, the fans out there will expect it not to rain, but at the same time, we'd like to go on to our screen right now, in the large screen, and welcome our guest, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma. Sir, today is an all-important match, and this is where we would like to hold our thoughts. This is the slide that decides where India plays and how the composition of the team is. But first of all, sir, are you happy with the way things have happened? Shami is back into the grind.
I'm really happy for Shami. Sunil, I was expecting him to play earlier also, and in fact, I would have always wanted him to play in place of Shardul. Though Shardul gives a lot of depth because of his batting. But having said that, I mean, Mohammad Shami is a strike bowler,
Absolutely.
He gets you early wickets. So I think he should have been played earlier also.
Sir, 2015, 2019 and 2023, he's just hitting it at the right space, right line and length, and the good length that he's bowled over the years is really accurate. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm very happy with Shami's bowling. I feel he's India's top-notch bowler, and I mean, he's a wicket taker. He bowls very well in the power play as well as in the death overs also.
Right. So let's look at the team batting statistics here. The first to 10th over of both the teams. Now, when New Zealand comes into bat, they face 37 innings. Of course, we are going by the last 4 years' data, sir. After the World Cup in 2019 till today, what do we have? They've looked at 15 batters, New Zealand, and they've scored 1653 runs with a strike rate of 74, so very important, and the average of 32. But again, if you look at the boundaries and the wickets, they've lost 1 wicket on an average in the first to 10th over. Again, are you happy with the strike rate of 74? Because India enjoys 87%.
Definitely, you can see the difference, and here I would credit this to our captain,
yes,
Rohit Sharma. He has been instrumental in getting that average of 97.92. He is the major factor in that power play.
Yes.
That he gets those runs very early, and with his type of strokes he plays,
right,
and he really capitalizes on the power play. So that is what the difference is showing.
Absolutely, the first power play is the decision that they take it. Our boundary percentage is also high when you look at the average run. The good part here is, of course, the wickets are almost the same. But when we come on to the second part, which is 11 to 40 overs, now this is where you lose or win the matches, and this is where the difference is showing. India at 48 innings, 40 batters they've used. They've scored 7,304 runs. 91 is the strike rate. 43 is the average, as compared to New Zealand's 87% strike rate and 40 as the average. Now, sir, you've got to explain it, how it happens that India has got a superiority average as well as the strike rate, yet they managed to hold on to the wicket, sir.
Sunil, you must give credit to Indian middle order for
Yes.
that, and especially in this, I would credit this to Virat.
Absolutely.
Because he has been instrumental in getting this average and this strike rate for India. And in the same way, we must give credit to Kane Williamson also.
Yes.
He's also a great player, and he's been holding that New Zealand batting. New Zealand batting used to revolve around him only, as it happened in case of India with Virat Kohli.
Absolutely.
So these two players are the key factor in this stats which you are showing.
Absolutely. When you look at their stats right now, in the last 4 matches, Rohit Sharma has scored 265 runs with a highest of 131, average of 66, sir. And balls faced is 193 with a strike rate of 137. As you compare Virat Kohli, he is not far behind. 259 runs, highest 103, average 129. Balls faced 287 and strike rate of 104. When you have top 3 batters who go out and have a strike rate of that proportion and the average of around 66 and 129, what do you make of it, sir?
Well, this is the whole world is seeing this. India is top heavy. Everybody is scared of our top 3.
Right.
And in this, I must give credit to Shubman also.
Right.
He's been contributing so well with these two giants. And both of them have reached at this at their peak of their form. So that is the best thing for India, that both the great players are in best of their form, and that is showing in this World Cup also, and I hope it will continue.
So, we've discussed about first to 10th over, we've discussed in detail about 11 to 40 overs. Sir, this is the all explosive, 41 to 50. When you look at the stats here, they're not too much of differentiator, but yes, they're on neck to neck. India, in the 38 innings that they've done, 34 batters, 2,400 runs, 124 is the strike rate, 27 is the average, and if you look at the boundary score is relatively higher, and when you look at the average wicket that they take is 2 as compared to New Zealand. But sir, when you look at this data, and compare it, where do you see the differences? The average is 27, New Zealand has 21, India's strike rate is 124, theirs is 121, and look at the number of runs scored. 2,400 as compared to 1,523. What does it say, sir?
It says a lot, but if you look at this, Sunil, they have played less number of matches also. So that is to be seen.
Agreed.
And moreover, they are almost equal to each other. And that shows that both these teams are equally balanced team, and it's going to be a tough match for both of them. You can't take New Zealand lightly. Though playing in Indian conditions, I think India has got an upper hand.
So when you look at the New Zealand composition, they don't have superstars, they don't have big stars. But at the same time, they have players who come in at the right time and score boundaries at will and win the matches at will. Your views, sir?
Yeah, it has always been with them, except for Kane Williamson, they never had a very big star. If you look at the last 4 or 5 years, they are all players who are contributing. They are not big stars like India. India has got a lot of big stars in Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Bumrah, Ravindra Jadeja. So we are used to those. But New Zealand have those players who contribute, and when it matters, they really contribute. So you have to be very, very careful from this team.
Sir, it reminds us contribution and also innovation at times. Remember the 1992 World Cup where Mark Rigbach and Deepak Patel took them by surprise? Here you had Rachin, who just came up and from nowhere sprung a surprise. Do you see and foresee any surprise coming to Indian bowlers right now?
I don't think India is too experienced team and they are playing so well. But as I said earlier also, they have won all 4 matches. They are in a good form. You can't take New Zealand lightly, and they are looking a good contender. And as it is, India has lost a few matches lately to them. So India will be very, very sure that they have to do well and they cannot be complacent against them.
So great. So when we looked at the batting, it was head to head and it was like very, the very small difference differentiating. Now let's look at the bowling phase-wise when it comes to how India and New Zealand has played over the last 4 years. Of course, India seems to have played a little longer as compared to New Zealand. Let's look at the number of wickets that the both team have taken. Again, balls bowled. What do you make of the first 10 overs between the two? What is the differentiator, sir?
Look, you hardly can make any difference, because both the teams have good fast bowlers.
Right.
They have Trent Bolt, Henry is there, Matt Henry is there, then Ferguson.
That's
all
correct,
the three fast bowlers are brilliant fast bowlers. They are leading fast bowlers in the world. Right. And with Shami coming back to India,
yes,
like in this particular match, India has also three wonderful bowlers in Bumrah, Siraj and Shami. So I think it is going to be a good contest between the fast bowlers and top order of batsmen.
So do you foresee, is it fair to say this is a dress rehearsal like of a final?
It can be, but it looks with the present
yes,
results,
in the
present scenario, it looks like that. But you can't take out, I can't take out Australia from this,
yes,
final thing. They are a team which can always come back, and they can make a huge comeback. So,
absolutely.
but this is an important game. New Zealand is playing very well, so India has to play to their potential to win this.
Absolutely. Now, this is very important discussion point. This is what we call how the batters play according to the bowler, seamer and everything. So, we've got it in the last 4 years. You've got the orthodox left-arm bowler, left-arm seamer, left-arm unorthodox, leg spinner, off-spinner and right-arm seamer. So, this seems to be a little of concern, the right-arm seamer part. We seem to struggle, and so does with left-arm seamers. Our strike rate is little less. So would you agree to that? That would be a problem for us?
Left arm medium pacers, Sunil, you rightly said, have always caused a lot of problems, yes, to Indian batsmen, and that is why always our team management, the captain and the coach always wanted to have a left arm medium pacer in the team. Unfortunately, we don't have, yes, a quality left arm medium pacer who would bowl to our batsmen in the nets. So every time, whenever India is practicing, you will always find they will have a net bowler, a left arm medium pacer and a throw down specialist who is a left-hander to bowl to them, so that they get a good idea against the left-arm medium pacers. But here, Trent Bolt, a quality fast bowler, world-class bowler, India has to be very careful.
India has to be careful of Trent Bolt. He's been in the wickets. He's been having the experience of IPL and the others. Now, let's look at the next slide if we can. And let's look at their bowling, sir. They have Daryl Mitchell, they have Conway, Ravindra, this is the batting, of course, Tom Latham, how they managed to score runs. Sir, when you look at this overall spread, do you think Indian bowlers will be able to contain, especially the top three batters, because they seem to spring a surprise at will?
Yeah, they are top heavy. Undoubtedly, Daryl Mitchell has been doing well. Ravindra has done so well against the England match. They gave a big surprise, against Australia in the first game.
Right.
So I think Indian fast bowlers have to be careful. But fortunately for us, we have got good strike bowlers who take early wickets.
At the same time, we've got good follow-up as well. When you look at India's chase, in all the matches of the World Cup so far, they've managed to chase Aussies 201 in 41 overs, 273 versus Afghanistan in 35 overs, 192 versus Pakistan in 30 overs, and against Bangladesh 261 in 41 overs. Do you think that brings in a lot of comfort to the team, considering, like you mentioned, they're top heavy and they've got Surya Kumar in the team? Will that make it better?
Yeah, chasing has always been India's strength,
Yes.
That is what we have seen in this tournament also, that we are very good chasers. And with these conditions, Sunil, one more important thing, that the dew factor will come later in this match. So I think it is going to be difficult for New Zealand bowlers to bowl to Indian this heavy, top heavy
Right.
batting, and with so experienced batting lineup. So they'll find it difficult, and India, I think, should cruise along. If they restrict New Zealand for, say, about 275, I think
Yes.
it should not be a problem.
Well, the verdict from the coach of Virat Kohli, the Dronacharya awardee, is out that India would cruise. But again, you've got a great bowling attack from the Kiwis. Well, that's all we had time for. We had discussed in details about the batting lineup, the matchups, and exactly what the team discussion happened.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.